welcome back to my channel. This is Becky, and in this episode I wanted to talk a little bit about when you're stressed out, what can you do? So the 4 big ways that you've turned other people into a problem. Yes, because sometimes we make people our problem. Guilty. Instead of just loving them compassionately in the moment and letting their problems stay their problems and letting those problems leave with them, sometimes we take those problems on our own and we want to help them, so we overgive and overlove and overshare. So number 1, you allow them to stress you out, right? You give them that power. And I've learned through trial and error how not to give away your power through your emotions. And it's not always easy because you do still have to process them. But what I've learned is using stoicism in the moment. I can stay fairly emotionless, detached. People say cold-hearted. But it's like a surgeon, right? Like you wouldn't want a surgeon that's like goofing around in there. You want someone who's serious. So when I'm in the field and I'm doing spiritual triage on a hurting soul, and I'm trying to help their vessel be able to navigate in the 3D more properly, in a healthier way, then yeah, I have to remain more detached and cool. Now, the people who are on my inner circle, which there are not many in my inner circle of trust, because as quickly as I see I can't trust you, I just kindly escort you right out the building and say, now you get to be a fan and a groupie. So don't allow them to stress you out. Number 2, because otherwise all you're doing is doing yourself harm on the inside. Internally, you actually cook yourself faster and then you die sooner from stress. So we don't want that. Number 2, you are so concerned about what everybody else thinks, right? It's a massive obstacle in the way that you consider it before you do anything. And this was a huge trauma response for me, because having been grown up in an era where it was they hit first and then that was it. There was no, talk it over later. It was like, bam, I don't even know what I did, but I ain't doing it again. I'm just going to sit here and just breathe. And if I'm breathing too loud, then I'll shut up and I'll hold my breath, or I would tiptoe through the house to be able to get through without getting, anybody upset. And next thing I know, I'm getting made fun of for walking on tiptoe. Well, now I know with autism that is a sign. So, a lot of what my parents did, was a not so nice way of ABA therapy. It was more like torture, but it did change my behavior. So boy, I know how to sit and look pretty and be quiet and smile. And number 3, you navigate your entire life based on other people's emotional reactions. And again, a lot of that has to do with the programming that we've received, in that if I didn't learn how to perform like a dancing monkey, I used to say I'm like the old wind-up monkey with the cymbals that would just like So people would be hurting, they'd come to me, I would help heal them, and they would go about their business. Well, little did I know that is not how I was supposed to be doing things. But now I know, and I can help others have that kind of wisdom and insight. Number 4, your habits of chronically looking over there and comparing makes you feel like life is unfair and that other people are against you or competing with you. I really don't have that issue for me, because I was born, ascended, and awakened, and my soul is older than fear itself. Like, I was here when consciousness, humanity, entities decided to put fear into the psyche, because that wasn't a natural form of being. And so now I get to be here at the end of the human experiment, which is now we're trying to pull out all of the fear out of the collective consciousness and get rid of it, because we know now what humans will do under fear models and devastation and destruction and all the chaos and that. Well, now it's time for us to go, okay, we've learned all we need to learn through all that bad stuff happening. We have now reached an age of enlightenment where we can now purge out all of the dark forces, purge out all of the dark energies, the lower, denser vibrations that are no longer in alignment with the earth itself, because the earth is its own deity, right? So I personally like to think that we are all like, you know how your body has like blood cells in it, all these blood cells? I like to think of us as those, either white blood cells or red blood cells. You know, some of us are fighting the infectious cells. Some of us are bringing oxygen to new parts of the planet. And I do believe that all of this, everything is all encompassed in God incarnate. So for me, I always think of Earth School as being more of like the heart of God, and that we are all the blood vessels and, you know, all the blood that's pumping through the heart of God. But we got some clogged arteries that we need to get rid of some blockages and clear out the gunk and, you know, improve our calorie intake. And we're really trying to strengthen the heart of God, which is the Mother Earth, Mother Gaia. So, and all four of these things are simply not true. You can use the let them theory, and I think that was by Mel Robbins, if I remember correctly, the let them theory, to remove all four of these obstacles. And when you no longer allow people to stress you out, you have more thoughts about you. You recognize you can't control what they think anyway. Half the time what they think isn't even based on true facts. A lot of times they just take little snippets of time that they get to see you, which is just a snapshot. It's like a Polaroid, you know, and they try to take these little Polaroid moments and string it together like it's all one big motion picture. And it's like, no, there's a whole lot more to my story than what you've witnessed, right? Which is why we got to get more curious about each other. I would love to have deep conversations with people, but most people are closed up. They don't want to speak because of the fear. And so I'm trying to help us be able to purge our energy fields and getting those lower three chakras cleared out and balanced so we can all have temperance and experience heaven on earth. If I'm at a point where I'm considering leaving a relationship, I'm already some way there. Now, when I left my ex-husband, which was a very dangerous situation, it took me 2 years of strategically strategizing an exit plans in order to get me and my children out alive. And people think I'm being overdramatic, but I'm not. This is the moment where I might as well put it all on the table. If I want true closure, and that means let me be honest with myself first about what I need for this relationship to work. If the idea of going all in makes you want to run out of the room and go, no, I don't want that, then it's over. And I've gotten so good at reading energies now, I can just make eye contact with someone and telepathically and then energetically and spiritually, I know what their intents are. My alarm system knows when they are going to try to communicate with me. And I'm able to have my spirit team just automatically handle anything that is not of my highest good, because I am on destination for my highest timeline, and I am not going to allow anybody to try to convince me to settle using black magic, sus magic, whatever crap you, voodoo dolls, whatever it is you're going to do. You can't outgive God. So I am sticking in the light. I'm going to stay a beacon, and I'm just going to roll with the tides, okay? And then God's going to give me the wisdom and the insight to then hopefully help you. You can go ahead and schedule a free consultation at homans.consulting@gmail.com so we can talk about your situation, how I might be able to help. You'll know within the first 3 months of meeting someone whether it's worth saving by putting in more effort. So I will get to know somebody, and within the first 3 months, I will know whether or not that's somebody that I would choose to date. Usually it's not. And yes, I have high standards because I know what I bring to the table. So if I can bring to the table being single, celibate, sober, sovereign, celebrated, and supported, then I am expecting that in my divine counterpart. And if I am dating around and I'm getting to know people and I'm socializing, well, I'm wasting my energy. So I prefer to find builders that are single, or builders that are dating and not in a committed relationship, that are still kind of trying to figure out who they are and what they want. And then we build together for a little bit and we see, okay, can we work through difficulties? Can we work through problems? Can we communicate? Are we both getting our needs met? And then progress into, all right, I see how this is going. What are you thinking? How about you? And then you move it forward baby step by baby step. We got too many people that are rushing headstrong into, I want to be married, which I did at 19 years old, right? Like, I get it. So, and even then, I wasn't wanting to get married. I was circumstances that led to that I was not quite aware of arranged marriages at the time. They made it look like it was all natural flowing, and come to find out, no, it really was a setup, and they thought he would kill me and they would get money and all kinds of cool stuff for them. Little do they know that 49 years later, I'm still here. You still haven't successfully killed me, and I am still outsmarting the foxes in the hen house that are trying to constantly come after me. So it's become almost laughable at this point, because I'm just like, we're doing this again, guys. Like, didn't you already learn? I feel like sometimes, the big giant who like sticks his hand out and puts down the forehead of the little guy who's like swinging at you, trying to reach, but your arm is too far and they're just like swinging at air in front of you. And you're like, oh, come on. Like, we got better things to do than this. Come on. Let's focus that energy in the right way. And that's something that I can help you do if that is truly something that you want to do. And it comes at a cost, because it cost me to be able to develop these gifts and then cultivate them. And I still have to stay in alignment, and I still have to cultivate them. And I have certain feeding nutrient requirements, and I have certain exercise requirements and environmental requirements. And so, life can be pretty complicated when you are high ranking in the spiritual world and an ascended master, because you got both camps that are vying to try to hurt you. The spiritual people don't want you being religious and trying to keep them in alignment with the morals that Jesus was teaching. And then you got the religious people that don't want you to have spiritual gifts because that makes you evil. So most of the time, I've spent most of my life standing in the middle by myself, just being me, going, I don't understand you people, and I don't understand you people, because we're all the same. You religious people have gifts too. You're just not using them right, because you're not awake. And then the ones that are awake usually think that they're better than the ones that are asleep. So then they, just use them for like entertainment and lustful and greedy and whatever nefarious ways. And so I end up looking around going like, where's my kind? Where are my people? And then I remember, oh, we're all in isolation. We've all checked out of this craziness. So when I'm sitting here going, man, I wish I knew where my tribe was. Now I know where they are. They're going to be coming to me on my online platform. They're going to be coming to my community, so we can start having some group sessions where we can talk about things. And then we can do some private sessions where I can really help you fine tune what is specifically going on for you that you need to address. So I will go ahead and end this video now. It's getting a little hot in here, so I'm going to go outside and take a walk. It's nice and cool out. Love the fall. And I hope that you have a blessed day, and I will talk to you in my next video.